Hey folks, now, RAW or CRAW? That is the question. What's the difference? Which one should you be using? Is it just a cheaper version of RAW? Does it compress the images so much that you lose quality? We're going to dive in and find out. The first test is going to be a buffer test. How many photos you can take in each format before the buffer is full. So let's open up the menu button. Number 1 under the red camera symbol, image quality, RAW. And at the top, it tells you 32 megapixel images on this Canon R7. That's 6960 times 4640 pixels. And in the brackets are the number of remaining images in that. So my camera card is quite full at the moment. So we go across to CRAW. Now remember, look at the images in the brackets. That's the most important thing. The moment in RAW, we can get 418. Now if we go across to CRAW, it jumps up to 744. But what is more important are the megapixels remain the same. So no matter whether you take RAW or CRAW, same number of megapixels, same size image, it's just that it's more compressed in the CRAW. So let's start with RAW. And we're going to go across to drive mode, make sure it's in H+, which is high speed continuous, the fastest shutter rate the camera can manage, and that will be in electronic mode. You don't want to do the test with mechanical or electronic first curtain. We'll go electronic. That gets us 30 frames per second with the Canon R7. All right, so let's do the buffer test. At the moment in the top left, you can see the camera telling me that it will be able to take 35 before the buffer fills, and the 433 shots remaining is still there. So sometimes I've found this not to be 100% accurate. It might take 33, it might take 37. So let's have a look. Ready? And from 433, let's see what the number drops to. So 433 to 397, that's what, 36 images? So that's about right. Let's erase those. And erase so you don't have to go through and individually erase each one. You'll erase everything that looks the same. Okay, that was the last photo I took down here on a very gloomy day. Don't worry, I'm a better photographer than that, really. Okay, now let's get back to the menu again. And we're going to go across to number 1 to put it into CRAW. Set. Now, all the electronic shutter mode and the high-speed continuous will be the same. Let's point it at something different. So if you look in the top left, it's telling me I can take 57 shots before the buffer fills. And there's 788 images left on the card. So that would take it down to, let me get my math right, 81, 31, 731. Let's do this. Ready? And go. Yeah, that was bang on. It got it correct. So that's in RAW mode. You can take about 34 to 35 images before the buffer's full. And in CRAW, I can take 57 images before the buffer fills. So why is this important? Say some action happens in front of you and you're firing away in high continuous burst mode. With RAW, the buffer is full in 35 images. With CRAW, in 55 images. Now what happens if the best action shot happened at image 39 or 47? Well, if you were using RAW, forget it, you wouldn't have got anything. But with CRAW, you would have captured it. That alone is all the reason to use CRAW. So your question might be, yeah, but what if the RAW is such better quality that you want to stay with it and it doesn't matter if you missed the shot because I wouldn't have wanted to keep it anyway? Well, let's see what that quality difference actually is. So at the bottom of Cross Nest, there's an old shed, and I just took a picture of a cropped area with a little bit of detail at different ISOs to do a test. The first test was going to be at ISO 100 because what I wanted to do was really underexpose the image and see what happened when I rescued both images, as in bring the exposure up to the correct level. Would the RAW file contain more data? So when I upped the shadows, the quality would still be there compared to the CRAW. At the upper end, I wanted to try my camera's maximum ISO, 32,000. Now this next bit, I thought it was a bit odd. I asked AI what the mid-range was in terms of stops of light, and it said ISO 1600. You'd imagine it would be more 16,000, but that's not how stops of light work. I read up about it. It's a little bit complicated. You could do the same, but we won't get into that now. That's for another video. So it's 100, 1600, and 32,000 ISO. So to get the best out of these images, obviously, I'm going to use my new DxO software that will sharpen them up and get rid of the noise. Remember, my discount code is StormCab. You get a free month trial if you go to their website. I'll put the link below. You don't have to sign up now or buy it. Try it for a month. They don't put any image or copyright symbol on the image, forcing you to buy the software like some other software companies want you to do. And when it comes time to buy it, 15% off is a big chunk of change. So first up, we've got the images taken at 100 ISO. In CRAW, 9.26 megabytes. That's pretty low. I assume that's because the image is so dark. So it's just recorded less data. In RAW format, 100 ISO is 24.8 megabytes in this image. So this is what we started with. Now we run it through DxO software. We up the exposure, remove the noise, and sharpen it. Boom, night and day difference between the original image and the new images. But also notice, if we zoom in 100% crop, there is no noticeable difference. Now, a little caveat, it was very hard to achieve the exact focusing point during both exposures. So you might say, I can see a little bit more sharpness on this one here and a little bit more there. That is literally just down to focusing. There is no difference between the sharpness of these images, even when I've rescued the detail. Let's go up to ISO 1600. CRAW, much more this time, 24.9 megabytes image size. And RAW 1600 ISO, 43 megabytes, right? We're really starting to ramp up memory usage here. Side by side again, no noticeable difference. And then we go 100% crop, again, no difference. And if you're seeing any difference, it will, again, like I said, just be down to focusing points. There is no difference in those two images. Okay, let's really ramp things up. 32,000 ISO with CRAW, 27.1 megabytes, and RAW 32,000 ISO, that takes up 53.1 megabytes. Again, side-by-side comparison, no difference. Then we zoom in again to 100%, same thing, no difference. I'll also point out, this is ISO 32,000. That is astounding. DxO software is just off the charts, incredible. So the bottom line, CRAW gives you all the benefits of RAW in a smaller and faster format. And just a little heads up, if you're using some older software, it might not be able to read CRAW. That's a relatively new file format. So please like if this cleared things up for you and you're now going to use CRAW. If you already use it, let me know if your results differ from mine and that you found that RAW definitely does produce better results for you. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.